Okay, here we go. Hopefully you can hear me over the laser. Here's the Carbon Zone Cup battery cartridge system floor, or rack, and here is the subfloor that replaces the plastic part that comes out of the carbon cup, or the cup. So what happens is, this thing receives these little chevron patterns, or bow tie patterns. Oop. I don't know why, I like to face them forward. And I'm just going to dry fit this together, as you should. Make sure it's all, you understand how it all goes together before you glue it. Someone, I forget his name, glued it together with Elmer's wood glue, or carpenter's glue, and I thought that was a pretty good idea. It'll take a little bit longer to dry, and this is going to be difficult for me to stand it up. Let me turn the heater off. This goes on there like that. It receives, picks up those tabs. Actually, let's build this upside down. Let's do it that way. Let's see, if it's going to go like that, it's going to go like that. Okay, let's build it upside down, because that's going to be an easier way to get everything to stick. Like so. Like so. Side-eye, side-eye. Okay, so this one goes like so. Okay, that's the floor subsystem. Okay, that's what gets screwed into the floor of the carbon cup. So you put that all together and you weight it, put some weight on it, make sure it all stays together, and check your joints like that, like so. And dab glue on it or CA it, hold it down and CA it. Use some accelerator. And then you can either follow it with wood glue, or just specifically carpenter's wood glue, or CA and epoxy. I haven't tried the wood glue, or this carpenter's wood glue, but I've used it in other applications, and it's pretty good glue, and if you get enough on, it'll probably stick rather well. Anyway, those are the parts of the subfloor, and that's what you want to glue together first. Right, and that's what you're going to screw in to the floor. Okay, so let's move that out of the way. And then build the cartridge. And what I like to do with the cartridge is put the fence in first, or the fence is in. These don't ever get glued in, they're to be moved around to adjust the various, oh, look at that one. Broken, garbage. Ran over to the handy-dandy parts bin, snagged another one. These are going to come to you in parts, obviously. You've got to punch out the laser cut strap holes. So the purpose of this is the fence holds it all together. A little friction, and then you can put the faces on. The lettering goes up, and the fronts go towards the front. Ooh, got that one wrong. Can't even follow my own directions. So front to front, where you can see everything is going to go towards the motor. Front, front, front. So it goes on there like so, and they're identical ones, so you can't miss. But if the lettering goes out, it'll work. This piece will work on either. This piece will work on either end. Okay. So let's hold out shut. Those pink hands. Anyway, that's the cartridge. The floor goes in. It has a front. goes on there like that and glues in. Fits in. Oops. Fits in like that, and just hold it together with rubber bands or whatever you want, tape, and then glue this like that. Then what you want to do is you want to take the dogs, I call them the dogs, only because deadliest catch, these are the things that come undone and release the crab cage, or the crab pot on the crew. Anyway, they go, so front faces forward as the rest of them, right? Plug in there, and plug in there, and you should be able to see everything pointing towards the front. Front, like so. Just take a rubber band. Snap it around the outside. Probably save yourself a lot of heartache. Take one of the supplied stainless steel cap head Allens. Start it in the hole. And Prof 100 mentioned that it'd be best to really magnetic ball head Allen, which was a great idea, I thought. This is not a magnetic, but to get the front screws in the floor system takes a little bit of a trick. Another guy was using a little bit of grease on an Allen head to get it to stick. So get it all tight, cinch it down a little bit, not too much, you don't want to strip the wood. Get the nut on there. Short stumpies don't help. Tension on that will create enough tension on the gate for when it folds in the floor. Geez, I hope I'm getting all this. Anyway, that's probably about it. So this goes on there. Like so. Little squares up. Glue that all together. Glue that all together so it looks like that. And that'll stop happening. And then when you got that all glued together, flop it over. And glue the dogs in. Right, front forward. Front forward. Make sure they're, square. And there you have it. Be straightforward, pretty straightforward to put together. There's close-up pictures on my website where you bought the thing, where you clicked on the PayPal. If you scroll down the page, there's a bunch of close-ups of it if you need that, and that should be it. Hope you have lots of fun with it. Bye. Here we have all the pieces put together, the subfloor, the rack deck, and the cartridge. With the retainer gate on the front of it, and the little hex nut or hex wrench with a little piece of tape on it to hold the nut. You put the nut in there, and then you've got something to hold on to it with, and put it in there like that, and hold on to the nut and put the Allen screw in, like so, and give it a crank and a drop of CA. We'll hold that nut in position and be ready to go. Anyway, to position it, put your big old battery in there. It's 6.5 inches long. There, and 2¼ inches wide. To accommodate, hopefully, every battery made. It's ready to go. With the fences, you can position the battery anywhere you like. You know, if you need a little retainer at the back and a retainer at the front, just to, you know, snug your battery wherever you want in there. They're adjustable. Or you can glue them in if you've decided that that's where you want to put your battery. Then for installation in the plane, you screw this to the floor. You remove the old plastic subfloor that they had, and then use the same screws to screw this down inside the Carbon Z Cub, and then with your battery velcroed through the strips, or using a Velcro strap through the strips for the slot holes. I'm sorry, the slots. You position it on where your CG is. You can position it all the way back to the last. You'll never do it here, but you know, you can get it to position all the way back like that. Generally, I think it's going to be in here somewhere, 5 or 6. I numbered the slots so you can refer to it, or take notes, or tell your friends what size battery you're using and how much it weighs and what number you're on by using the numbered slots. Anyway, you put it in there like that, and off to the races you go. So, that's about it for that. Hopefully it works out for y'all. Bye.